Tell us about a holiday tradition in the culture where you grew up. A Bahamian Christmas tradition is Christmas Junkanoo. Junkanoo is a festival, and on Christmas Day, teams will come together and compete in a competition. There are instruments played like goatskin drums and cowbells. There are huge, elaborate costumes made from cardboard and feathers and sequins.
Kind of the tradition for Christmas is we all kind of head to the beach. For my family, it was we more often went to a lake. We would go camping, hang out on the lake for 2 weeks, often over the Christmas time. So that was pretty awesome childhood, and we still do it now as well. So actually the first year my wife and I were married, we were camping on Christmas at a lake. So that was pretty cool.
I grew up in Indonesia, and at the time there were very few Christmas traditions that were what we would be familiar with in the West. So the only thing I'm aware of is that Indonesian Christians would try to buy a new set of clothes for each of their children for the Christmas service at church. And the other thing I think they often did, and they still do, is an event called a Natalan, which is basically a Christmas party where they share the gospel with their friends and neighbors.
One of the holiday traditions in our culture, and it's also my best holiday memory because I grew up doing this every Christmas with my cousins, is that Filipino kids will go around the neighborhood, stand in front of different houses, and sing Christmas carols using makeshift musical instruments, you name it, empty cans and a spoon as drums, flattened drink bottle crowns put together using a metal wire, and we turn it into a customized tambourine. And so with all those in hand, the kids are ready to sing their hearts out. And then someone from the house will come out and give the kids money, usually just coins, but sometimes if it's a good caroling day, you get candies too.
Most families in South Africa go to a beach or a resort, or even one of our great national parks in the country. Since it's summer during Christmas, we all try and spend it outdoors, having fun. So my family specifically always go to a private game lodge / resort, and we usually spend Christmas going on a safari, playing games outside, swimming in the swimming pool, and spending good time with family.
So the tradition I want to share is one that we did mostly in the States before we moved to the Philippines. But on Christmas Eve, we would have a nice big lunch, and then we would get ready and go to church and have a Christmas Eve service, which ended in a candlelight service, which was beautiful. And then we would come home. Usually it was really cold outside, and we'd come home to our nice cozy house and have yummy appetizers to eat and just spend some great time as a family.
So in Hungary, Santa Claus comes on December 6th, not December 25th. So on December 6th, it's called Mikuláš Day. All the children will put their boots outside the window and hoping that the next morning they'll have some treats in them. If you've been good all year, then Mikuláš will bring you chocolates and oranges and peanuts. And if you've been bad that year, then he'll bring you sticks. Then on Christmas, it is baby Jesus who brings the presents and not Santa Claus.
What is a food or treat you make during the holiday season and that you grew up eating? My family always has chicken macaroni salad. It's shredded chicken, macaroni noodles, pineapple chunks, mayonnaise, sweet relish, shredded cheese, carrots. So all the sweet, sour, salty tastes all put together in one dish. Then we also eat fruit salad, which is different kinds of fruits and coconut put together in all-purpose cream. And the last thing is that we always have my grandmother's refrigerator cake. And she is now 90 years old, and she still makes it to this day.
Well, I don't think any Christmas season will go by without a couple of main dishes that my family likes to make. So since we're outside, we do braai a lot. Braai is an Afrikaans word for barbecue. So we usually braai beef or lamb, and then we also have one night where we braai snoek, which is a big fish. And then we also have potjie, which is another South African dish where you cook your food like a stew over a fire in a big cast iron pot. And then the last Christmas dish that we usually have is my mom's favorite, and she always makes it, and that is a cow's tongue mustard casserole. And so those are our Christmas foods.
So in Hungary, they have this pastry called bagli, and it's like a rolled up pastry with poppy seed filling in it, and it's really good. And so anytime that you go to someone's house, they will offer you a slice of bagli. It's just kind of what happens. Another really common Christmas treat is szaloncukrot, and so szaloncukrot is an individually wrapped candy, and it always is coated with chocolate, and my favorite is the coconut coated with chocolate. There also might be like marzipan, there could be like a cocoa cream kind of thing, there could be nuts, there could be like jelly, all different kinds of things on the inside, so you kind of just have to bite into it and hope that it's one that you like.
So usually on Christmas Eve we would have prime rib and yummy potatoes and different salads and enjoy a nice big meal. But probably my favorite thing to eat at Christmas time are all the yummy Christmas cookies that Mrs. Howard makes.
When I was growing up in Indonesia, we would often make cookies to give and share with our neighbors who would come to visit during the holiday season. And my mother always had us make marzipan cookies. If you aren't familiar with those, it's an almond flavored dough, and you can use it to shape various objects such as fruit. So we would make lots of little tiny miniature fruit, and then she would help us decorate them so that they looked authentic. Unfortunately, our Indonesian neighbors did not enjoy our cookies because they considered them too sweet.
Big one in New Zealand is pavlova, which is a kind of cake made out of egg whites and sugar, pretty much is the only two ingredients, and then we top it with cream, and then we often put fruit on top, strawberries, which are in season during that time in New Zealand, and kiwi fruit.
My family always has carrot casserole at our Christmas meal. It's carrots and cheese and topped with cornflake cereal or frosted flake cereal to add a little sweetness.
And then the last question here is, what is your favorite Christmas song and why? I'm a big fan of Snoopy's Christmas, which hardly anybody has heard about in this part of the world, or many parts of the world from what I see. It's done by the Royal Guardsmen, and it's kind of this story about Snoopy, World War II, and the Red Baron, and they go off fighting on Christmas Eve, and then they hear the Christmas bells, and they come to a truce for the night of Christmas. That's kind of a fun Christmas song. So if you haven't heard it, look it up on Spotify or YouTube or something. You can be able to find Snoopy's Christmas. That's my favourite.
My favorite Christmas song is Mary Did You Know? I just love the message of that song and the reminder of the things that Jesus did while he was here on earth.
It's a really tough question. I think one of my favorites would be O Come Emmanuel. I think it's super beautiful. It is like really expectant and puts my mind in the right mindset of who we are waiting for and who is coming in Jesus at Christmas time. And I like the minor sound, and I like how many different ways it can be performed and arranged. It's just really beautiful.
My favorite Christmas carol is Silent Night. It's something that we sing when we have a candlelight service on Christmas Eve. And the song is just meaningful because we live in a world where there's so much noise and so much going on. And Silent Night just reminds us to really focus on the meaning of Christmas and the peace that gives us.
I think my favorite Christmas songs are the traditional Christmas songs. However, one of my very favorite is The Little Drummer Boy. And I believe it's my favorite because I find the story touching, and I really could imagine it as a child, and so it's special to me still to this day.
So growing up as a young kid, you hear a lot of the Jingle Bells and Santa songs that mostly came from the North or from America, and none of those really resonated with me that much since we did not have snow during Christmas. And so I think in kind of my middle school years, a new song came out, and it's called Suamish Kashvies, which is Afrikaans and translates to Summer Christmas. And that song resonated with me more because we have summer during Christmas. That is my favorite Christmas song. It basically sings about asking God to bless us in our country during our summer Christmas season.
My favorite Christmas song is Ang Pasko Ay Sumapit. It was made even more meaningful when, for the Faith Academy Elementary Christmas program 2 years ago, I taught 130 plus students of different nationalities this song, and it was such a moving experience to hear them all sing in my native language. Maligayang Pasko!
Boldog Karachoint.
Gezien de kerstfeest allemaal.
Salamat Hari Natal.
Merry Christmas!